Okay, let's dive into this. If you've been anywhere near the news lately, you know we're looking at a completely different beast when it comes to international travel. We're talking sweeping 2026 global visa restrictions hitting Nigerian travelers hard. It's a brand new landscape out there: digital borders, severely tightened policies, the whole shebang. But hey, we're not just here to doom scroll the problem. Today's explainer breaks down these massive rule changes and, more importantly, looks at how our source material positions a platform called TRAVUL.org as the ultimate fix to get you through this maze. Let's get right into it.
So, here's our travel itinerary for today. We're going to start by ripping the Band-Aid off with the tough new 2026 travel realities, then do a quick region-by-region breakdown of the global visa rules. After that, we'll look at the severe costs of making mistakes under these new systems, and finally, we'll explore the travel.org solution and map out your smooth takeoff plan. All right, kicking things off with Section 1, the 2026 travel reality. New borders, new rules. So, are you planning an international trip in 2026? Look, whether you're a student heading off to school, a first-timer, or a family trying to relocate, the ground has completely shifted beneath our feet. The source text makes it crystal clear. Sophisticated new digital border systems and tight travel bans have just dropped, and they are hitting Nigerian travelers particularly hard. Honestly, those days of just grabbing a ticket and figuring out the paperwork later, yeah, they are officially over. Moving on to Section 2, let's get into the global visa rule changes with a quick region-by-region breakdown. And wow, this is exactly what we're up against across the West. Just look at this. In the US, we're dealing with partial suspensions and massive visa bans. Over in the EU, they're demanding the new EES and ETIAS systems, meaning digital pre-approvals are now absolutely mandatory. The UK, their ETA electronic approval is strictly enforced. You literally can't even board the plane without it. And Canada has significantly tightened the leash on student visas. The takeaway from the source here is undeniable. Every single major Western destination has systematically locked down its borders for 2026, driven by these heavy new security protocols. Actually, let's zoom in on the United States for a second, because this number is just staggering. $5,000 to $15,000. Effective January 1st, 2026, the U.S. expanded its restrictions, putting Nigeria on a partial suspension list for several visa categories: visitor, student, immigrant, you name it. But the real kicker from our source? Some applicants now face a mandatory visa bond of up to $15,000. It's like a giant financial wall just went up overnight. Processing is slower, the scrutiny is intense, and the barrier to entry has absolutely skyrocketed. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is the sheer speed of this digital shift. This isn't some distant future scenario. It is happening right now. As we speak, the EU entry-exit system, the EES, is fully up and running. That means say goodbye to passport stamps. It's all fingerprints and photos right at the border now. Fast forward to February 2026, and the UK's ETA is strictly enforced. No electronic approval, no boarding pass. Period. And looking ahead to late 2026, the EU rolls out ETS, which is a €20 pre-travel authorization. And get this, it's required even if you're entirely visa exempt. The digital net is literally catching everyone. But, it's not all doom and gloom. Our source points out a pretty fascinating loophole, or caveat, I should say. Despite all these sweeping security changes meant to lock things down, there are actually still faster routes into the Schengen area. The text explicitly notes that some Schengen countries are still granting Nigerians faster approvals. The catch? You have to know exactly which ones to apply to. It's really become a high-stakes game of insider knowledge. Which brings us to Section 3, the cost of mistakes. Because the stakes for travelers have never been higher. I mean, just think about it. You make one tiny mistake on your new digital forms, or you miss that February deadline for the UK ETA. What happens? Boom, missed flights and hundreds of thousands of lost naira. The source material drives this point home hard. Navigating these new rules blind is incredibly dangerous to your wallet and your sanity. Ignorance of these shifts doesn't just get you an annoying email from an embassy. We're talking about missing non-refundable flights and agonizing over months of wasted time trying to appeal a rejection.
And who's bearing the brunt of this? The source clearly identifies the massive risks specifically for Nigerian students and first-timers. If that's you, you are staring down the barrel of delayed or flat-out denied visa appointments. You might suddenly get hit with a demand for extra documents, or worse, those massive cash bonds we just talked about. And hey, even if you do get the visa, get ready for brutal airport lines thanks to the new mandatory biometrics. These security upgrades basically translate into a ton of extra stress and extra cash out of your pocket.
All right, let's pivot to some good news. Section 4, the travelin.org solution. from stress to smooth takeoff. The source frames this perfectly, stating, "This is exactly why travel.org exists, helping you go from stress to smooth takeoff." According to the text, they aren't just another travel agency. They're positioned as this essential mentor, a dedicated navigator for this specific 2026 crisis. Their whole mission is to hand you the exact tools you need to clear these bureaucratic hurdles without losing your mind or your life savings. So let's break down their actionable fixes. First off, they offer constantly updated 2026 free travel guides, meaning you're never stuck relying on outdated info. They also do personalized document consultations to totally eliminate the guesswork. Got a family? They map out specific study abroad routes that allow dependents to travel, which effectively bypasses some of the most brutal new restrictions. Throw in real-time deals on flights, hotels, and taxis to offset all these new fees, plus an insider blog packed with tricks for surviving ETIS, ETA, and biometrics. They're basically taking all this chaos and turning it into a customized, executable plan.
And that leads us right into Section 5, your smooth takeoff plan and next steps.
The source lays out a super straightforward 3-step action plan here. Step 1, visit travel.org. Step 2, book a free consultation. And here's a golden nugget straight from the text. If you mention you heard about them through this explainer, you actually get priority status. Step 3, subscribe and turn on notifications so you catch their weekly 2026 updates, because these border rules are going to keep evolving. So the crucial point is this. Whatever you do, do not wait until you have a plane ticket in hand to figure out your visa strategy. Securing that free consultation right now is framed as the smartest possible move you can make. To wrap things up, I want to throw this final question at you, drawn right from the end of our source material. Which destination are you trying to visit in 2026? Is it the US, the UK, Europe, Canada? Take a second to really think about your specific destination. Consider all those massive new hurdles we just unpacked today and ask yourself honestly, are you truly prepared for the digital borders of 2026? Thanks for joining me on this explainer, guys, and safe travels out there.